I want to talk to you for a moment about one of the most popular characters in Scripture, especially when dealing with difficulties, when going through hard times or trials, and that's the character of Job. And I'm not going to go into too much of the story. Many of us are already familiar. Job goes through a series of trials and through this intense period of suffering. And after the first wave of suffering recorded in the first chapter of Job, Job has lost his wealth, and I know there are many people today who are struggling with loss of finances, of job security. Job loses all of his wealth. Job loses his entire family. His kids all die, and I know there are some today whose loved ones they are worried about, that this glooming reality that death is a possibility. For some people, if they're sick with this, there's just a lot that has us kind of on edge, and the trials can be real. The trials, whether or not you have someone you're worried about losing, whether or not you've already lost someone, whether or not you've lost your job, we're all facing some sort of a trial right now. And Job, when he lost his wealth, he lost many friends who were killed, he lost his children, all in a single moment. In Job chapter 1, verse 20, we have Job's response. We have what Job initially responds with when these trials come, and it's something we can really learn from. I know I can learn from this. It says, "Then Job arose, and he tore his robe, and shaved his head, and fell on the ground, and worshipped." You know, there is this sense that Job is mourning. You know, he tears his clothes, he shaves his head, he is mourning what has happened, and to mourn and grieve is okay. That's a proper response. But that mourning and grieving didn't push him away from God. It didn't push him away from his relationship with God. You can mourn and you can grieve, and then, just as Job did, you can fall down and you can worship God. Job understood that when we go through hardship, God is not the enemy. When we go through hardship, we often distance ourselves from God and we blame God. And the next verse says he never blamed God. He never sinned throughout this. He faced this difficult trial, and when he faced it, did he grieve? Yes. But in the process of that grief, he clung to God, he fell in worship, and he knew that the only way he was going to make it through this is if he got closer to God, not by distancing himself from God. So whatever you're going through right now, if you need prayer, let us know and we'll be praying for you. But remember that God is the solution, not the problem. That God is the one we need to draw closer to throughout this time, not back away from. Draw near to God when difficult times come. When trials come, let's fall on our face and let's worship God and remember that He is still worthy of praise. And as we draw closer to Him, that's where relief is going to come from. That's where lasting joy is going to come from, not from pulling away.